Bishop, last week's show was very well received. People are extremely interested to hear your insights and information about Kobe Bryant's involvement in the dark arts. Welcome back, Bishop.
Thank you so much, Jason. I'm so excited to be a part of the Crowdsource the True family and really excited to delve into part two of this Kobe Bryant Luciferian project completed. It's going to be very powerful and very eye-opening to your listeners.
No doubt, Bishop. And today, for the first time, we're live streaming the show as an audio-only podcast as well, so people can listen to us on Spreaker today. And by next week, I hope we'll also be on iTunes.
Oh, that is so awesome. Again, Crowdsource the Truth is the show for everyone, not just in America and around the world to tune into. In other words, Crowdsource the Truth is the template, I believe, that will be the perpetuating power of truth here in the 21st century. So big time congratulations on that, Jason.
Thank you, Bishop. And of course, people can watch us on YouTube at Crowdsource the Truth 2, on the Jason Goodman channel, on subscribestar.com/crowdsource the truth or patreon.com/crowdsource the truth. And they're going to get the visual impact of some of the things that you're telling us. Bishop, people can also support the global spiritual revolution by going to paypal.me/GSRR Media Group. And they can also listen to your radio show on Life Radio NJ. If people go to liferadionj.com/Gaiters, that's going to get them right to your radio broadcast. But without further ado, Bishop, what have you prepared for us today?
Part two of Kobe Bryant Luciferian project completed. We've been talking about the Boule Secret Society actually for weeks now. And now let's get into the business connections that surrounded Kobe Bryant. Now, to all of your listeners, the names, the dates, the corporations that I'm going to expose today does not mean that these people, places, things, or entities had anything to do with the death of Kobe Bryant. So I want to make that perfectly clear here today as we begin to unpack part two of Kobe Bryant's business connections through him being a Luciferian project completed. Now, going back to 2013, Kobe Bryant, 3 years before his retirement, he creates a major studio in Hollywood called Granity Studios, which was created to be apart from any other major studio in Hollywood. Steven Spielberg, Jeffrey Katzenberg of DreamWorks, all of these power players wanted to invest in Granity, but Kobe told all of the powers that be in Hollywood no, because he wanted to do this independently from the Hollywood deep state. And the original term for Hollywood is Hollywan, wood wand, or the wand of a witch. So that's the foundation of Hollywood as we are dissecting Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project completed part two. Kobe also creates Kobe Incorporated. Now his brand is going to go beyond the realms of sports and basketball. Okay. So then Kobe Bryant is introduced to a man whose past is really like a ghost, Jason. A man by the name of Jeffrey Stiebel. Okay. Capital Stibel. Now, Jeffrey Stiebel is a graduate of MIT, right? He received an honorary doctorate from Pepperdine University. Pepperdine University, just like Stanford, is heavily connected to the Central Intelligence Agency. I'm going to bring that up later on during the broadcast. So
Didn't Obama, sorry to interrupt, Bishop, but didn't Obama have something to do with Pepperdine?
Absolutely. Barack Obama, even including the Bidens, had contributed millions of dollars to Pepperdine University. Why that specific university? If we got time today, I'm going to bring that up. So, excellent point that you just made, Jason. So, this Jeffrey Steibel is introduced to Kobe by a mutual friend. Now, who this mutual friend is, we don't know. So, Jeffrey Steibel is what we call a brain scientist, very high intelligentsia level of intelligence. All right. He is also a venture capitalist. So then Kobe Bryant is introduced to Jeffrey Steibel, okay, to create what they call the Bryant Steibel Venture Capital Firm, okay, in Hollywood with connections to Wall Street back in 2013. This is 3 years prior to Kobe's retirement in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So then Bryant Steibel firm provides strategy capital to businesses with a focus and a concentration on technology, media, and data. You can go to Bryant Steibel, I believe, .com, BryantSteibel.com. So then Jeff Steibel is also an advisory board member, Jason, of a foundation called the Lifeboat Foundation. One word, Lifeboat Foundation, a foundation that also had another Jeffrey on it, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
So Jeffrey Epstein and Jeff Steibel knew each other. And again, I'm not casting stones upon Mr. Steibel. What I'm doing is just unveiling the connections of the powers that surrounded Kobe, which I believe Kobe was in way over his head. I'll come to that later on during the broadcast. So Lifeboat Foundation, all right, lifeboat.org, its founder is a man by the name of Eric Klein. So Eric Klein is one of the best friends of Jeff Steibel, the co-founder of the Bryant Steibel Mutual Fund there in Hollywood, connected to Wall Street. Now, to all of your listeners, if you type in the net worth of Jeff Steibel, it automatically comes up with Kobe Bryant's net worth.
Huh.
And for that, I don't know why. And maybe you can find it, Jason. I cannot find the net worth of Jeffrey Steibel. Again, I'm not castigating him or connecting Mr. Steibel to the death of Kobe Bryant. My job is to unveil for your listeners the surrounding powers that surrounded the life of Kobe Bryant that would highly benefit from his death. So if you would type in Jeff Steibel's net worth, 9 times out of 10, it would go to Kobe Bryant's net worth, which is over $600 million.
Right.
The total portfolio of the Bryant Steibel Mutual Fund is over $2 billion. Who has that money? Does Jeff Steibel own that money? Does Vanessa Bryant? So there's going to be some major lawsuits from both sides that are going to try to confiscate that $2 billion. So then the Bryant Steibel Fund was started with a $100 million seed money.
This guy was the chairman of Legal Zoom, Bishop. Sorry to interrupt you, but...
No, absolutely. No interruption at all. These are connections here. And so when you type in the net worth of Jeff Steibel, it comes up with Kobe's net worth, okay?
Yeah.
So the Lifeboat Foundation, on the advisory board, it has Jeffrey Morgan Steibel. Jeffrey Epstein is a former member of not just of the Lifeboat Foundation. Both Jeff Steibel and Jeffrey Epstein were members of the Mind, Brain, and Behavior Advisory Committee at Harvard University, which Jeff Steibel is still a board member of. Now, the Mind, Brain, and Behavior Committee at Harvard is connected to the Brain Initiative. And you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The Brain Initiative under the Obama administration back in 2013. So then Jeff Steibel is also the CEO of what they call the Brain Gate. okay, which is connected to the Brain Initiative with the CIA, okay, with the Department of Defense in 2013. Then the question is, didn't Kobe know this? I don't know. So then Jeff Steibel is a advisory board member, getting back to the Lifeboat Foundation. He's also connected along with Jeffrey Epstein and Les Wexner to the Edge Foundation, okay, and to the BrainGate Foundation. And so as we move forward here, meticulously breaking down, dissecting the powers that were connected to Kobe Bryant, I'm not saying that they had anything to do with his assassination, but I believe, Jason, Kobe Bryant was he was way over his head in this situation. So Jeffrey Steibel is the chairman of BrainGate, which is partnered with Stanford University's CIA undergraduate program in psychology. Now, if you remember, here's the name Ralph Blasey II. Now, Ralph Blasey II is the father of Christine Blasey Ford,
Oh, yeah.
who accused Brett Kavanaugh. There you go. So Ralph Blasey II ran 3 CIA companies, okay? Red Coats Incorporated, Data Watch, and Admiral Security Systems, operating in the same building as Fusion GPS.
Where?
That's
In D.C.?
in DC. So
Oh.
Ralph Blasey II, his son, Ralph Blasey III, who is the brother of Christine Blasey Ford, Ralph Blasey III, an attorney, used to work for a law firm, Baker Hostetler. We talked about that firm a couple of weeks ago. Baker Hostetler was also in the same building as Ralph Blasey II and Fusion GPS. So then the law firm Baker Hostetler represented Fusion GPS concerning the fake Russian dossier of President Donald J. Trump. So then Ralph Blasey here, there is the grandfather of Christine Blasey Ford, is a man by the name of Nicholas Deak, capital D-E-A-K, who is the grandfather of Christine Blasey Ford. Nicholas Deak was a former CIA officer whose concentration, Jason, was in currency trading. So then getting back to Jeffrey Steibel and Kobe Bryant, Jeffrey Steibel is the chairman of BrainGate, that's connected to the Brain Initiative under the Obama administration going back to 2013. Also connected to the BrainGate is the Defense Research Projects Agency, a part of the Department of Defense and the Pentagon, including close ties to the Aspen Institute. So then the Intelligence Advanced Research Projects Activity, or IARPA, capital IARPA, which was created in 2006, is a program that specializes in predictive programming. Now, to all of your listeners, Jason, remember the commercial with Kobe Bryant? I think I brought up this commercial last week on YouTube.
Right. Yes,
where Kobe Bryant throws a basketball.
Kanye right? Blowing up or something.
Yes, at the 4.1 second. That commercial really reveals what we call predictive programming. And I believe in 2012, Comedy Central had a cartoon of Kobe Bryant crashing inside of a helicopter. So none of this is by accident. So both DARPA, the Defense Research Projects Agency, and IARPA, the Intelligence Advanced Research Projects Activity, are also connected to the Office of National Intelligence, the CIA, the National Security Agency, including the National Institute of Health. So Kobe, I don't believe he understood the full gamut of what he was involved in. And we're talking about Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project completed. Now, in 2014, another transformation takes place, Jason. Kobe Bean Bryant is contacted by both the Aspen Institute and the Clinton Foundation to take part in the third annual Health Matters Conference in 2014. Now, in 2014, Kobe speaks on the board there at the third annual Health Matters Conference in 2014. Now he's connected to both the Aspen Institute and to Bill and Hillary Clinton. Now, 3 days before Kobe's death, on the 23rd of January 2020, Bill Clinton and LeBron James was talking right at the Barclays Center when the Lakers were playing the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I'm not connecting any dots. They may just been talking about sports or family. But again, when we connect these timelines concerning not only Kobe Bryant's life as a professional basketball player, but his connections within the investment world. So then in 2014, Kobe invests $6 million into a company by the name of Body Armor. Okay, so then Kobe has a 10% stake in Body Armor. Now, Coca-Cola purchases a major stake in Body Armor, which nets Kobe Bryant a $200 million check, by the way, during the same time. Jeffrey Epstein was bringing in $200 million within a 5-year period after he registered as a sex offender. Now, the question is, did Kobe Bryant know Jeffrey Epstein? We don't know that.
Well, so the other thing, Bishop,
yeah.
There's an article here in Bleach Report or something. $6 million investment turns into $200 million. That seems quite lucky.
Real lucky. And, nothing's by accident. I mean, a $6 million investment turns into an additional $194 million, $200 million. That's kind of strange, even for a first-time investor like Kobe Bryant.
Well, not only that, Bishop, it follows a pattern, because if you recall, I don't know if our listeners are aware of this, but prior to gaining international fame, Hillary Clinton, while her husband was, I guess, the attorney general or perhaps the governor of Arkansas, when Hillary became a partner at the Rose Law Firm, it's well known that she invested like a very small sum in cattle futures that had like some 5,000% return, that basically everybody has said there's no way that was a straight trade. That was insider trading and somebody funneling money to her.
Exactly. And you hit a powerful nerve with me, Jason, as you always do, because you're a great host. It might have been that Kobe, who netted this $200 million check net gain, there might have been some insider trading that he did not know about. And so that's interesting. And so we go from 2014, after his connection, to both the Aspen Institute, which is a powerful think tank connected to the CIA, right, and to national intelligence, and to the Clinton Foundation in the Clinton Global Initiative. Now, in 2018, Kobe, along with Jeffrey Steibel, invests, or they sow a seed of $30 million into a company called Ring DNA, right? So you can go to ringdna.com, ringdna.com. Also, his co-investors was with a man by the name of Lloyd Blankfein, right? Or Goldman Sachs, capital Blankfein. Now, remember, Jason, back during the 2008 bailout in the housing crisis, it was Lloyd Blankfein who had testified before Congress in the Senate that Goldman Sachs needed the money. So Kobe knew Lloyd Blankfein in Goldman Sachs. Also, another partner that contributed to Ring DNA was a company by the name of Palisades Growth Capital, which Jeffrey Steibel and Eric Klein, of Lightboat Foundation has millions of dollars in shares. Now, Jeffrey Steibel and Jeffrey Epstein are also investors, along with Les Wexner a man by the name of Marvin Minsky and Lawrence Summers. Now, you
Marvin
remember,
Minsky is an
yeah,
MIT professor who somehow David Hawkins, this Marvin Minsky stole some AI information or something like that from David Hawkins, or Hawkins had some interaction with Marvin Minsky.
exactly. All of these characters are connected around Kobe Bryant in the investment of both ring DNA in the Lifeboat Foundation with Eric Klein as the CEO. So Jeffrey Epstein sits on the advisory board of Lifeboat Foundation. Also, Jeffrey Epstein was the CEO of the Jeffrey Epstein Foundation, which gave millions of dollars, right, to MIT, to Harvard, right, to Ring DNA, including Lifeboat Foundation. Again, like I said a few minutes ago in the broadcast, both Jeffrey Epstein and Jeff Seibel sat on the Mind, Brain, and Behavior Advisor Committee at Harvard University. Okay. So then Jeffrey Epstein had donated millions of dollars to MIT. Jeffrey Seibel is an alumnus of MIT, including Mark Zuckerberg is giving millions of dollars to MIT. So connecting the power brokers that are surrounding the object, what we call Kobe Bryant. Okay. So then Jeffrey Epstein and Jeffrey Seibel knew each other. Again, I'm not blaming anyone. Okay. So that as we're connecting these dots here, there is a term in physics called the parallax view. Okay. The parallax view. It simply means to our students here today, Jason, that Kobe Bryant is the object of financial affection for Jeffrey Seibel, for Jeffrey Epstein, for Eric Klein and Bill and Hillary Clinton, okay, for MIT, okay, for Body Armor and Ring DNA and Palisades Growth Capital in the Lifeboat Foundation, including the Jeffrey Epstein Foundation. So then all of these characters are connected financially to Kobe Bryant. Now, it's interesting, Jason, a year before Kobe Bryant's death in 2019, Kobe Bryant helped raise $5 million for a foundation called Baby to Baby. Baby, then the number two baby. The co-president, actually, this woman is actually the president, but online on their website, baby2baby, I believe.com, she is the co-president. Her name is Nora Weinstein. Okay. Now, I don't know if she's connected to Harvey Weinstein. There is no record of that.
A lot
So
of
Nora
people with that name.
Weinstein, yes, creates the Baby to Baby foundation. When you look on the advisory board, it's got some of the most powerful actors and actresses in Hollywood. Okay. So it's interesting here. If you go online and it's
It's
type
baby2baby.org, Bishop. Sorry about that.
no problem. Baby2baby.org. Excellent find. So then type in Lloyd Blankfein helps Black artists. Interesting. Kobe Bryant funds diapers. Again, Blankfein helps Black artists. Kobe Bryant funds diapers. So then, this Baby to Baby, why would people be giving millions of dollars just to buy diapers, okay, from the underprivileged? I don't buy it, Jason. And what I'm about to say, I cannot substantiate this because as a researcher and a historian, I go by facts. Okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy realist. I believe that Baby to Baby was a front for the pedophilia system in Hollywood that not even Nora Weinstein knows about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go forward from 2013, going back to 2016, from 2019 to 2016, Brian Steibel the venture capitalist capital firm has a seed startup fund of $100 million, where Kobe gave 50 million and Jeffrey Steibel gave 50 million. We don't know Jeffrey Steibel's past. We don't know his net worth. He's a ghost. Where did he come from? Who introduced Kobe to this man, Jeffrey Morgan Steibel? And I'm not blaming him for the death of Kobe Bryant, but it's very, very interesting that his past is almost like a ghost. Now, I'm going to say something, Jason. I cannot substantiate this, and I will send you this information, okay, when we get off the air, but it cannot be substantiated.
Yep.
Remember during 9/11, somebody was buying up millions of dollars of shares the day before 9/11.
Yes.
And then the day after 9/11, someone made a killing. Now, it's come to my attention, and I cannot substantiate this, that the day, on January the 24th, 2 days before Kobe's death, the Bryant Steibel Fund, its stock went way down unusually for that day. Why? We don't know. On the 24th of January, on the Friday, 2 days before Kobe's death. Now, on the 27th, the day after Kobe's death, because the stock markets are not open on the weekend. So on the 27th, that stock went up. It tripled, which means someone bought millions of dollars of Bryant Steibel stock and made a killing as if they knew what was going to happen. Again, Jason, listen, this cannot be substantiated, but it's interesting. So then the Kobe Bryant Luciferian project completed. Lifeboat Foundation, if you type online, my friend, Jeffrey Epstein hoped to seed human race with DNA. Jeffrey Epstein hoped to seed, capital SWED, human race with DNA. That was posted by Derek Lee on August the 1st, 2019. Okay. And so then Jeffrey Epstein, through the Lifeboat Foundation, are practitioners of what they call sex transhumanism, with a Third Reich psyop of creating a master race. So then Eric Klein of Lifeboat Foundation was involved with this. Now, the question is, did Kobe Bryant know about this? We don't know. Was his partner involved? Jeffrey Steibel, we don't know. But Jeffrey Steibel sat on the same board as Jeffrey Epstein on the Lifeboat Foundation website, okay? They met once a month. So Jeffrey Steibel knew Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Steibel knew Lex Wexner, okay? And Jeffrey Steibel knew all of these major power players, okay? In not just in Hollywood, but within Wall Street. So then the Lifeboat Foundation boards, they got multiple boards, all right? And so when you go on their website and go to what's new, it gives a detailed chronology, a timeline, right? And if you go around the January 25th, 2020 timeline and go up to February the 16th, 2020, very interesting.
Well, wait a minute. I'm still looking for what's new. Here it is.
There you go. Yes. Now, it's very interesting about that timeline there, especially when we go down around the January 23rd, 24th, 25th timeline, okay? Yes, and the next day with Kobe's death. Now, I'm not connecting anything that doesn't exist. What I'm doing, Jason, is unveiling and revealing the corporations, the foundations, and the financial head powers that surrounded Kobe, what I call a financial parallax view, where Kobe was the subject, but the powers that be surrounded him wanted to use him to exemplify, to build up their portfolio. Now, as a side note, getting back to the boule quickly, the first Black millionaire in U.S. history was a man by the name of Robert Church. Okay. Robert Church, who was the first Black millionaire in history, was also one of the founding fathers of the boule, who died 3 years before the boule was created. So
Hmm.
Robert Church and Dr. Henry McKee Minton were actually the founding fathers of the Boule Seeker Society. Now back to Jeff Seibel. So Jeff Seibel, Jeffrey Epstein, Les Wexner, Lawrence Summers, who worked within the Department of Treasury within the Obama administration,
Also the
Marvin,
president of Harvard.
president of Harvard, Marvin Minsky, okay, Lawrence Krauss. Lawrence Krauss is under indictment, okay, for not just sex trafficking, but for sexual assault. All of these key pieces are within the life of Kobe Bean Bryant. Why? Now, interesting again, getting back to Jeffrey Seibel, okay? He is the president of a corporation called the Dun and Bradstreet Corporation. Dun and Bradstreet Credibility Corporation. Let me say it
That's
one more time.
amazing to me. That's a famous thing done in Bradstreet. How is this guy?
Absolutely. And if you go, matter of fact, I'm going to give you the street address of which is supposed to be, my friend, the Bryant Seibel firm there in Malibu, California. It doesn't show the Bryant Seibel sign. It shows the Dun and Bradstreet Credibility Corporation sign. I'm going to
Wow.
get to that in a few minutes here. So then, this Jeffrey Seibel, I believe he's a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire. Okay. He's a part of United Online, Edgecast Networks, Auto Bytel, Lifeboat Foundation, right? The Brain Gate and the Brain Initiative. He's also a investor of what they call the ASMOS Institute, capital ASIMOV Institute, where their concentration is in artificial creativity and
Isaac Asimov, Bishop, was
as
a science
yeah.
fiction writer who wrote the book I, Robot.
Wow, I did not know. That's a powerful connection. You're teaching me as well, my friend. So as we continue to dissect the financial tentacles connecting to Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project completed, Jeffrey Seibel, along with Marvin Minsky and the late Jeffrey Epstein, were contributors to the Futurist Board, okay, and to Ring DNA, including Goldman Sachs. They're a part of the Permira Growth Opportunities, capital Permira, the Permira Growth Opportunities, okay? Now, it's interesting here as we move forward here in 2014. So I'm keep going back from 14 to 2020. Now, in 2014, Kobe Bryant connects to both the Aspen Institute, okay, and the Clinton Foundation through the Clinton Global Initiative to be a part of the third annual Health Matters Initiative, okay, on
Mhm.
January 13, 2014. Kobe also invests the following day into the Lifeboat Foundation, the same foundation that has his friend Jeffrey Seibel and Jeffrey Epstein as board members. So then, as we move forward here, and this gets really powerful here, okay? Then in January, right, 31st, 2018, and if you type in Jason, victims identified in Newport Beach helicopter crash. Victims identified in Newport Beach helicopter crash. You can find that on NBCLosAngeles.com.
So this is going to probably touch on the Standard Hotel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Oh man, you're way ahead. This is excellent. So then, three executives of the Standard Hotel, okay, were killed. Kimberly Lynn Waltzman, she was the general manager of the Standard Hotel in West Hollywood.
Tonight, we're learning more about sorry, the Bishop. Victims in that helicopter crash, the one in New.
So then, no, that's okay. So then, Kimberly Lynn Waltzman was the general manager of the West Hollywood Standard Hotel. Go figure. Then Brian R. Reichelt, capital Reichelt. Now, this character, Brian Reichelt, was the regional financial director of the Standard Hotel industry within the West Hollywood district,
right,
including a man by the name of Joseph Anthony Tena, capital Tena, of the same city, the hometown that Kobe Bryant lived in, Newport Beach, California. These are executives, okay? Also connected to the Standard Hotel is Adam Shifty Schiff, okay? Yep. Now, the GOP Congressman Jim Jordan wants to investigate, and I want all of your listeners to hear this because this is powerful. He wants there to be an open investigation concerning Adam Schiff's connection to Ed Buck, to Jeffrey Epstein, and to the Clintons at the Standard Hotel in West Hollywood. Now, Ed Buck, you brought up his name a couple of weeks ago. He was a man who was a pedophile, a molester, who would bring homeless men off the street, drug them, and then rape them. He was arrested a few times. And so then Congress, right, the GOP, specifically Jim Jordan, wants there to be an open investigation concerning Ed Buck, Jeffrey Epstein, the Clintons' connection to Adam Schiff. Remember, little kids, right? Capital Liddle, Kids, KIDZ, which is a foundation in California that specializes in the massaging of babies, pediatric massaging.
Right.
That is pedophilia, okay? Now, it's interesting, getting back to this crash here in January 2018, okay, that the pilot received a call about 5 minutes before takeoff that they had to use another charter plane. Guess what charter plane they used? From the Island Express Holdings Corporation, the same Island Express that provided Kobe Bryant with the Sikorsky S-76B chopper. Now it gets really, really dicey now. Now, if you go to, just type in, government records show that Kobe Bryant's helicopter used to be owned by the state of Illinois. Right. Government records show that Kobe Bryant's helicopter used to be owned by the state of Illinois. That's on the businessinsider.com, businessinsider.com. Now, it's interesting, on the picture of the Nike helicopter, which the copter number is N72EX, okay? Yep. Now, if you go to LinkedIn.com and just type in capital I, capital E, capital X, helicopters, right? In parentheses is Island Express helicopters. It will show a photo, a picture of a helicopter with the number N71EX. Kobe's chopper was N72EX. So IEX helicopters, Island Express helicopters in parentheses on LinkedIn, it shows a photo of a Sikorsky 76 N71EX. Kobe's chopper was N72EX. So then this Island Express Holdings is financially connected to Lockheed Martin. So then when you go to the Red State website, very credible, and just type in about the Adam Schiff and Ed Buck photo rumor, about the Adam Schiff and Ed Buck photo rumor. It was posted on January 22nd, 2020. It shows a picture of Ed Buck, the pedophile rapist, Adam Schiff, right? And so then there is a open investigation. And this is the reason why Adam Schiff wanted to destroy Donald Trump. This is the reason why the left wants to bring down our great president, because President Trump is going to expose the pedophilia industrial complex. Yes, I made up that word. The pedophilia industrial complex in Hollywood is coming down, including Adam Schiff. So then, these executives of the Standard Hotel chain were killed, all right, in a pedestrian area in Newport Beach, California. They were riding in the Robinson R-44 chopper. Guess what airport that they came from? The John Wayne Airport, the same airport that Kobe's chopper flew from. The same charter, Island Express Holdings, that Kobe had was the same charter from the same charter company, who now they have taken down their website, Jason. That's interesting. So Island Express Holdings has taken down their website, their Instagram site, their Twitter site, and their Facebook site the same day that Kobe is taken out. Now, Island Express Holdings, now Calabasas, the area of Calabasas is the 33rd congressional district in California. There's that number 33. Calabasas is the 33rd congressional district in the state of California. Okay. So government records show that Kobe Bryant's helicopter that was used was once owned by the state of Illinois. Why? That's interesting. Barack Obama's home state. So this helicopter came from the state of Illinois. Why did Kobe use the Sikorsky S-76B instead of his own Nike 72 N72EX? Now remember, on the LinkedIn site, it shows a Sikorsky N71EX. Kobe.
Bishop? Oh, it sounds like you got a phone call and we lost you.
Let me repeat this again. Kobe Bryant flies in the N72EX. The picture on LinkedIn, N71EX, Kobe's chopper, N72EX. Now, I got a question for all of your listeners. If the LAPD was grounded that day, and the LA County Sheriff's Department was grounded, why was Kobe Bryant given clearance to fly? Now, according to the Federal Aviation Administration, Kobe Bryant's chopper was built in 1991. It was owned by the state of Illinois, according to the database HELIS, capital HELIS. And mind you, the term Helis, according to Greek mythology, means the stacker of dead corpse. That's interesting. So we're talking about Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project created here on Crowdsource the Truth. Now, going back before 2007, there is no records, Jason, of who actually owned Kobe Bryant's plane or the chopper that he flew on, the Sikorsky S-76B. Now, in 2015, here is a man by the name of Jim Bagge, capital B-A-G-G-E, who purchased the plane, the chopper that Kobe flew in. Jim Bagge, capital B-A-G-G-E, is an executive for the Island Express Holding Corporation in Van Nuys, California. So he purchases the plane, okay? And he purchases the plane in around, I believe, let me go back to this, in 2015. Now, specifically here, 2015, a year before Kobe's retirement, he purchases the Sikorsky S-76B variant for $515,161. The chopper flew in Illinois with this tail number as N7ILL. ILL is an acronym for Illinois.
Right.
When Jim Bag bought the helicopter, he changed it to N-72EX. Now, remember the plane N-71EX, that's back in Lincoln. Now, let's go forward here. So then Island Express took down their website, their Twitter site, their Facebook site, and their Instagram site on the day that Kobe was assassinated. And this was according to the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration. Now, again, Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project created. Kobe Bryant is connected now, back in 2014, to the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative. Now, Hillary Clinton, unbeknownst to a lot of people, Jason, actually transferred billions of dollars from the U.S. Treasury Department into the Clinton Foundation. And why isn't she in prison? Interesting. But yet they want to send up Roger Stone for 9 years. Another topic, another day. So as we move forward here concerning Kobe Bryant, now his executive financial powers that are surrounding him, okay. Now, as a side note, the Bryant Cyber Fund is now worth over $2 billion in asset. And my question is, what did Kobe know? When did Kobe know it? And to whom was Kobe Bryant submitted to? Now, yeah,
Bishop, let me pause you for a second because there's so much information coming at everybody so quickly, and I'm trying to catch up, and I'm trying to follow some of the comments of our viewers here online. Now, you spoke about this Isaac Asimov Foundation. Many people are putting into the comments that David Asimov, Isaac Asimov's son, was arrested in 1998 with what Santa Rosa police called possibly the largest cachet of child pornography in the history of Northern California.
Wow.
And I'm also being told, I haven't been able to corroborate this with news stories, but somehow Robert Mueller was involved in helping David Asimov get to a plea deal. And oddly, I, again, can't quite put this together, but in searching for all this stuff about David Asimov, another interesting institute came up that's related to Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know if you've heard of the Humpty Dumpty Institute.
No, I've never heard of that institute. Interesting.
Okay. So the Humpty Dumpty Institute, it's talking about putting the pieces back together again. I'm aware of this thing, but not exactly sure what it's all about. It is noteworthy that our current Attorney General, his father, Donald Barr, wrote a book called The Humpty Dumpty Effect. So I'm not sure what, if anything, it's called Who Pushed Humpty Dumpty, is a book written by Donald Barr, the father of, is that it? No, maybe that's not it. There's something, yeah, it is. It's Dilemmas in American Education Today, Who Pushed Humpty Dumpty, by Donald Barr, the father of our current Attorney General, William Barr.
Wow. Again, these are powerful connections. And again, I keep saying redundantly that you have the most astute listeners I have ever been a part of, rather through podcasts or through radio. And that is because of you, my friend. And so thank you so much. That Humpty Dumpty. So all of these code words, little kids, okay,
Right.
Baby to baby. Okay, you're going to raise millions of dollars just to give out diapers? No. These are fronts for the global pedophilia system. Remember the Man Boy Club we talked about back in June, right? NAMBLA here in New York City. The House of Windsor, some of the most powerful European dynastic kingdoms in Europe are subsidizing pedophilia in this country, okay? And so, and if your listeners get a chance, just type in Jeffrey Epstein, hope to seed human race with his DNA. Now, that was another, I've already said that a couple of minutes ago, but there is a Lifeboat Foundation blog that's post-dated August the 1st, 2019. Okay. Now on lifeboat.com or Lifeboat Foundation, August the 1st, 2019, there is a op-ed online posted by Derek Lee, LWE. It says Jeffrey Epstein hoped to seed human race with his DNA. This is transhumanism. So on Lifeboat Foundation, it shows a building that Jeffrey Epstein owned, okay? I believe in Arizona, okay? I believe in New Mexico. A picture of his ranch in New Mexico that he built in connection to the Lifeboat Foundation now that Jeffrey Seibel, Kobe Bryant's friend, is a board member of. There you go. That's it. And so Jeffrey Epstein hoped to impregnate women to perpetuate his generations, okay, with his DNA, his seed. This is all the backing now of the Lifeboat Foundation that's on their website. And my question, I get back to what did Kobe know? When did Kobe know? And to whom was Kobe Bryant submitted to? Okay. So then the Bryant Seibel Fund is worth over $2 billion. And so as we continue on here, man, this is powerful. Anytime you want to jump in, Jason, definitely jump right in because
there's something else I wanted to share with you because we're making all these connections with Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Barr writing that weird Humpty Dumpty book. So people have spoken about, here we have Donald Barr. Again, he was the headmaster of the Dalton School. So this is a picture that we've evaluated here in the past. We see Donald Barr has got 3 pens, a separator, and then another 3 pens. People tell me that's a 33 right there, a Masonic indicator.
Wow.
I would also point out, I don't know if you can see his eyebrows here, Bishop, but you see how they're like pointing up like that?
Yes.
Maybe just sloppy eyebrows. But what about this guy, Michael Aquino? I know you know who he is. He was the founder of the Church of Set, the Temple of Set, which was a Luciferian, some sort of sect. And he was a U.S. Army general who got into some trouble, I believe, for kids missing from some army base in California. This guy's, I think, convicted, certainly accused of being a pedophile. And take a look at his eyebrows. There's this little, sort of horn pointing up. And there's a third guy whose name escapes me right now, who's a British pedophile that David Hawkins told me about. I'll look for his image as you carry on talking. But he also had this sort of swoop to his eyebrow. Is this some sort of indicator to people in the know?
That could be, and I cannot substantiate this, but very great detailed information you just showed with the eyebrows up. That could be a sign of some type of a thelema, the esophageal connection, Aleister Crowley. And so with the eyebrows going up, more of a Luciferian type. And again, these details that the average American doesn't even notice, that you and I who are truthers and you and I who are awakened, we know. So I believe, I'm going to give you my interpretation. I cannot substantiate this, my friend, that the eyebrows going northward, right, could be some type of a Luciferian connect, okay? And so, again, it gets really scary to see all of these connections around the life of Kobe Bryant. Now, and again, just cut right in, Jason, if there's anything else, because this is important. And if you get a chance, Jason, type in Kobe Bryant's partner, courted controversy. Again, Kobe Bryant's partner, courted controversy. And that's on the Los Angeles Business Journal website. That's labusinessjournal.com. labusinessjournal.com. Kobe Bryant's partner, Jeff Seibel, courted controversy. Again, one more time, Kobe Bryant's partner, courted controversy. Now,
here we go.
it talks about, excellent, that Jeffrey Seibel is under multiple lawsuits, okay, for Ponzi schemes, okay? And so and my question is, as intelligent as Kobe was, why did he not do his research? So then, again, the Los Angeles Business Journal, which is a far left entity that I really don't touch anything from the left, but they're exposing their own. So then Brian Seibel was under multiple $1 million lawsuits from 35,000 people that he had cheated out of money, okay?
Mm.
Ponzi schemes, okay? And so then with Jeffrey Steibel approaching Kobe Bryant to possibly clean up the image of Jeffrey Steibel. In other words, Kobe Bryant was used by the deep state through this ghost of a man that we really don't have any information about. Okay, Jeffrey Steibel, connected to the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, Lifeboat Foundation, okay, Jeffrey Epstein, okay, Les Wexner, the Brain Initiative. Who is Jeffrey Morgan Steibel? And so then these connections here. Now, Kobe Bryant is in a lot of trouble. He doesn't know this, but he's in a lot of trouble because he's connected to demons that actually are preparing his death, and he doesn't even know it. And so then we have to know, knowing enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about a subject to know you're wrong. And so when we examine this, and one of my favorite sayings that I like to connect to Kobe Bryant here is that when the chess game is over, Jason, both the king and the pawn go back in the same box.
Right.
So Kobe Bryant is used, in other words, to clean up the image of a Jeffrey Epstein or a Jeffrey Steibel or a Les Wexner, okay? And so now remember the television show, The Blacklist. Now, people might say, well, what does The Blacklist have anything to do with Kobe Bryant, okay?
Right.
A Luciferian Project creative. Now, if you remember specifically in season 6 of The Blacklist, a specific title for a specific show was called General Shiro, capital Shiro, okay? General Shiro. Now, General Shiro, during World War II, was a biochemist, okay, who created bioweapons to kill thousands of Chinese during World War II. Now, if we examine here as we move forward here, and again, this is so powerful here, when we examine the terms here, hexagram, okay, to pentagram, hexagram to pentagram. Now, if you connect the first 4 letters of hexagram or hexagon to hexa, which is hexa, capital Hexa, capital Hexa, to the first 4 letters of the word pentagon, capital Pent, then we get an acronym word hexapene, capital Hexapene, which was a bioweapon agent used in this General Shiro season 6 series of The Blacklist. Now, why would I connect The Blacklist to in Hollywood to Kobe Bryant? Because anything that we see in Hollywood, whether it's on television or the big screen, is interconnected to the dark arts of Hollywood, also connected to the deep state. So then the show's producers are given permission to reveal this term hexapene, hexagon, hexapene, pentagon, 5 points of the structure of what we call Baphomet. Again, Kobe Bryant is in way over his head, Jason. Now, what did Kobe know? Who what did Kobe? Maybe he found out about some of these foundations were fronts for pedophilia. Some of these foundations, like the Lifeboat Foundation, are foundations for genetical splicing and genetical manipulation of DNA, which one of the most powerful intelligence agencies on the earth, the Mossad, and mind you, for your biblical Bible students, right? And it's interesting when we take the word David, okay? Now, King David, and I'm not to get away from Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project creative. Now, the word David, according to Hasidic Hebrew, it comes from a Hasidic Hebrew word, Dawsom, capital Dawsom, which, when spelled from right to left rabbinically, reveals the word Mossad.
Hmm.
So the term Dawsom or Mossad means a destroyer, or one who manipulates, or one who contrives in order to destroy. So Kobe Bryant, and I'm not the Mossad, I'm not saying the Mossad had anything to do with Kobe Bryant or the CIA, but Kobe Bryant takes the same chopper from Holding Express, just like the Standard Hotel executives did back in January, right, 2018. Nothing is by accident. Why did those executives from the Standard Hotel had to be taken out? Because they had something on Jeffrey Epstein's connection to who? Adam Shifty Schiff. So this is the reason why, in my conclusion, that the deep state wants to take down President Donald J. Trump. And I have to say this as well, Jason. Man, again, I cannot get away from this Humpty Dumpty situation that you brought.
Yeah.
So remember, tying the Boule Secret Society to the Knights of the Round Table, right? The nine families that controlled 99% of the world's wealth, to the nine Greek pan-Hellenic Boule Secret societies, to Kobe Bryant, to Jay-Z, to Gayle King. Now, Gayle King, who tried to destroy the character of Kobe Bryant. Why? Because Gayle King is a Boule. Gayle King would never talk about Harvey Weinstein, who may or may not be related to Nora Weinstein, a baby to baby. So
Huh.
then, why isn't Oprah Winfrey exposing Harvey Weinstein? Why isn't Oprah Winfrey, okay, and Gayle King exposing Charlie? What's his name? Charles. I can't remember his last name. Charles. It'll come to me in a minute. He used to work for CBS, but he was fired because
Oh,
27.
yeah.
Yes,
The
you know I'm
talk
talking.
show guy,
Yeah,
Charlie Rose.
Rose, Charlie Rose. Yeah, Charlie Rose. So he's got 27 indictments against him.
Charlie Rose does?
Not even nothing from Oprah Winfrey and nothing from Gayle King. Go ahead, Jason. He's getting ready to say
No,
something.
that's just I didn't know that. Charlie Rose. I heard about the allegations. I didn't know about the indictments.
Yes, and so they're covering up. And NBC's covering up for Harvey Weinstein. Okay, ABC inadvertently with one of their female reporters had said something about the cover up of Harvey Weinstein. They're all complicit. Maybe Kobe found this out. Kobe died because not just of the dark arts from last week. Kobe died because he knew something he was not supposed to know. Not just from his books, Muse Cage, right? We talked about that. Epoca, Ecroft, Wisenard, the Queen Legacy, but also Kobe Bryant got himself involved with people whom did not mean Kobe any good. Okay. Now I guarantee you, Kobe Bryant did not have a will, and the ones that took him out are going to take all of his money. Okay. So as we wrap up this Kobe Bryant Luciferian completed project here on Crowdsource the Truth, I wanted to just to lay out the ley lines for you, Jason, of all of those that were involved through a meticulous plan to take out Kobe Bryant. Now, I got an email I believe, last week from someone concerning me saying that Kobe Bryant went to Laura Marion. He was an occultist. Let me correct that. I never said that. I never said that Kobe Bryant was an occultist when he was in high school. My assignment was to dissect what the word Marion, like Laura Marion High School, means. It is a connected word into occultism. Okay. Kobe Bryant got himself into a conspiracy that brought about his death. What did he know, Jason? How much did he know, and to whom did he tell it to? So we're going to wrap this up on next week. And again, I want to thank you, Jason, for all of these, again, these connections here that you talked about, Humpty Dumpty. And can you all, is there a link on that website that reveals who owns this Humpty Dumpty Foundation? Can you reveal that for us? Is it possible, sir?
Well, we'll definitely take a look at that, Bishop. Before we do that, I wanted to point out, I found the image from the David Hawkins show. So this is the original image we were looking at with Donald Barr with 6 pins in his pocket, which seems incredibly ridiculous. He also looks like he's got a gun holster around. I don't know what's going on here with Donald Barr, but the cover image from the David Hawkins show that I'm talking about is right here. I can't remember this guy's name. I think he was a principal at either GCHQ or MI6, the British intelligence agency, but you can see he's got the same thing going on with his eyebrow, and with this guy, it looks very definitely groomed to be that way. It's almost as if he brushes the eyebrow, and it's definitely different than his other eyebrow. So we've got Michael Aquino, we've got this guy, and we've got possibly Donald Barr with their eyebrows in a pretty weird, seemingly deliberate, upward pointing fashion. Donald Barr writing this book, Who Pushed Humpty Dumpty, which is allegedly about education. He's an educator, and he's written all these books, but it seems a strange book for him to write. And then the Humpty Dumpty Institute, let's just Humpty Dumpty, it's not the Humpty Dumpty Foundation, it's the Humpty Dumpty Institute. So let's make sure we get to the right one here. And I believe it still has his brother. It's here in New York. Now, wait a minute. It wasn't doing this before with Flash Player.
Yes.
Humpty Dumpty Institute, putting the pieces back together. It's on 48th Street, so I know it's 46th Street. It's perhaps worth going to check out. This is strange that it's now giving me some sort of a Adobe Flash Player is blocked. That's weird. I had it on there just a moment ago. Perhaps for a future show, Bishop, I'll get into that, or people can look up what's going on with Humpty Dumpty Institute. There's a lot of people talking about Charlie Rose having a black eye. People saying, does the bishop believe that Kobe's actually dead? Some people doubting.
That's interesting. And that, again, that's another great point by your listeners, because Jason, I've been getting hundreds of emails ever since I started this series on last week, that a lot of them, or your listeners, very astute, said that the plane, the chopper that went down had a coat of paint over it. Okay, I mean, it just, and then a lot of them are saying that Kobe Bryant, just like Tupac, may still be alive. And if he is, why is it that he was forced to go underground? What did he know? Okay, just like the whistleblower you talked about a couple of weeks ago in the Ukrainian conspiracy, right? He had, right. So then, if Kobe did not die, it's a hoax. It's got to be one of the greatest hoaxes in American history when it comes to such a crime on this level. Why did he have to do this? Just like Tupac, if Tupac is alive, what did they have on Kobe Bryant to the point where he had to fake through a Machiavellian plan to fake his own death? And then I cannot rule that out. Your listeners, that could very well be true. That can, again, Kobe is connected to all of these foundations that he really, as smart as Kobe was, he didn't have the intelligence, the spiritual insight to see the demonic forces around him. And getting back to those pictures with those men with their eyebrows going up,
Yeah.
a part, I believe, of the British pedophilia system. Now, remember a couple of weeks ago, I said concerning the director of MI6, Sir Alexander William Younger, is a part of the pedophilia system. Alexander Younger, who is the director of MI6, had put up a lot of the money, right, to this Orbis intelligence agency that you visited there in London, England, with Christopher
Right.
Steele. That's all MI6 money. Okay. Again, why is MI6, okay, in the intelligence community here so afraid of Donald Trump? Because this pedophilia reign, this pedophilia industrial complex is so strategic, so sophisticated. And I believe that God is going to use President Trump to expose it. You got major players in this pedophilia system. And thank you for showing all of those links that we went over today. And to all of your listeners, I'm telling you, if you get a chance, definitely, if you have any questions, with Jason's permission, send me an email at
Yeah.
Global Spiritual Revolution Radio at yahoo.com, Global Spiritual Revolution Radio at yahoo.com. So that will conclude part 2 of the Kobe Bryant Luciferian project created. So powerful today.
Yeah, if you have a moment, Bishop, there's a couple things I want to go over that stood out in my mind as you were speaking. This company, BrainGate, they're showing right here this medieval torture-looking device. This is supposed to be inserted into the person's brain. This is the interface that pushes into the brain. I actually was watching a video about Elon Musk. You know, they have a competitive brain attachment technology, and he was talking about how dangerous this is. I mean, obviously, this looks like you're shoving a bunch of needles into your brain. I don't really advocate voluntary brain surgery. Now, obviously, if there's scientists and doctors working on a way to stimulate areas of the brain that would help people who are paralyzed to walk or people who are blind to see, I'm all for technology like that, but I personally will not be inserting anything into my brain, I hope. And so that was weird. That stuck out in my mind as something that I wanted to mention to you. The other thing I wanted to mention with all these helicopter crashes and plane crashes of people potentially related to Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know if a lot of people know about this, but in 1993, Bishop, I think it was two brothers, you know, the In-N-Out Burger restaurant. I don't know if you've ever been there. They don't exist in New York, but they're very popular in California. So in 1993, there was a private jet crash in which two top executives of the In-N-Out Burger chain were killed. At least one of them, if not both, were sons of the founder. In-N-Out Burger president Richard A. Snyder of Newport Beach was executive vice president. Philip West of Irvine apparently had broken a long-standing rule about not flying together and were aboard the same chartered jet. And this accident, which I wasn't familiar with until In-N-Out Burger threatened to sue me, and I began looking into them a bit. But this is attributed by the NTSB to, I guess, some turbulence caused by a 757. So Snyder was only 41, and his sister is now the owner and CEO of the company, and I believe she was the the youngest female billionaire until somebody Jenner, I think Kylie Jenner, put out a makeup line and took that title from her. The reason I bring up In-N-Out Burger is that people are going to remember that in August of last year, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend and madam, was spotted at the In-N-Out Burger. This was very strangely reported in the New York Post because they showed this picture of Ghislaine Maxwell, who at the time was 57 years old, but looks model beautiful in this picture. It looks like a woman maybe in her 30s. This is definitely not what Ghislaine Maxwell looked like in August of 2019, and even other photos from this same In-N-Out Burger, allegedly at the same time, show her looking much more like a 57 or 67-year-old woman, however old she is. So this is very weird. There were a number of things about this photo that people on the internet determined had been retouched in Adobe Photoshop. And when I called In-N-Out Burger's corporate offices to ask them if they'd provided their security footage to the FBI so that it could be determined if Ghislaine Maxwell was at the restaurant or was not at the restaurant, the woman on the other end of the phone, who was presented to me as In-N-Out Burger's media spokesperson, she said if the FBI contacted them, they would cooperate. To my shock, I told her, look, I think you should take this footage and send it to the FBI and force the FBI to do something. But what In-N-Out Burger proposed, their, I guess he was the assistant general counsel, threatened to sue me for publishing the phone call with their employee, told me that in California, recording of a phone call without instructing the other person was a criminal act, and that he could bring criminal charges against me, which is a violation of the professional ethics of the Bar Association in California. He's not allowed to threaten criminal stuff to achieve a civil end. So I started looking into In-N-Out Burger a bit. There are a really bizarre number of articles about In-N-Out Burger in the New York Post, Bishop. There was that article about an In-N-Out Burger being found on the street in the New York Post. I mean, this doesn't really seem like newsworthy information. And not only that, it didn't make sense that somebody could drop a hamburger out of a backpack and have it land on the sidewalk in Queens and not explode out of the wrapper. I actually consulted a friend of mine who's a professional food stylist. Her entire career is based on, preparing and arranging the food that will be photographed for advertisements and, product shots. And she felt that it was absolutely impossible for a hamburger to fall out of a bag and look like this. And then she just presumed that somebody went to California, got the In-N-Out Burger paper, cooked a hamburger in Queens, wrapped this up, placed it on the street carefully, and took the photograph. There were 3 articles in the New York Post about the mystery of this hamburger on the street. No one, the closest In-N-Out Burger is 3,000 miles away. I think it's noteworthy to mention that the New York Post is owned by News Corp, which is owned by Murdoch, who was very close to Robert Maxwell.
Yes. And the questions I'm getting some emails right now. And thank you, Jason, for bringing up those links and photos, because it all ties indirectly to Kobe Bryant. Okay. And I'm gonna ask everyone a question. All these questions I'm getting in right now, Jason. Was Kobe Bryant ever connected to the Lolita Express?
It's a good question.
We don't know. And when we talk about what I call the 6 paradigms of global manipulation, which is worldview, chronology, factual, everything that's is a fact is actually not a fact. It's only a perspective. And economics, genocide, and war. When you look at these, what I call the 6 paradigms of global manipulation, and coming down to Kobe Bryant, post 2003, he's into this parapsychology and phrenology and psychic surgery, okay? This plasma knee surgery that he got in Germany, okay? Where they would inject either his blood or the blood of another person into his knee, and that's psychic surgery. Now, people are going to say, oh, that's BS. I don't care. See, what you and I are doing, Jason, is just revealing and unlayering, exposing the connected powers that were around Kobe Bryant. He was a lover of psychokinesis and telekinesis, clairvoyance, tapping into your inner muse cage. All of that, my friend, is witchcraft. And before we go out today, again, you're connecting so many nerves with me. There is a Harvard program called the Harvard Program for Evolutionary Dynamics. Again, the Harvard Program for Evolutionary Dynamics, which Jeff Steibel, okay, and Jeffrey Epstein had donated $6.5 million. Okay. This is back in 2011.
I'm surprised not 6.6 or 6.66.
Exactly. And John Kapoor, right? He is the head of the pharmaceutical company Acorn and High Tech Pharmaceuticals. He was indicted, and got a 66-month prison term. And so it's interesting here as we close out today, and then kind of keeping a mental paperclip on Kobe Bryant, a Luciferian project completed. Okay. And we look at the actor Will Smith, and some weeks ago we talked about him being a part of the Church of Scientology. Now, remember to your listeners, brother, brother Jason, that Will Smith was in the movie. I'm trying to think when it came up, maybe in the 96 Degrees of Separation, I believe. 6 Degrees of Separation. There was a scene of the movie where he's in bed naked with another man. In other words, that was his initiation process, where Will Smith is in bed with another man. Okay, and you and I talked about chaos theory, emotional based reasoning, and this is why, not to go all over the map, but this Jeffrey Steinberg was a practitioner of cognitive therapy and cognitive behavior therapy. He fully understood, Jason, psychotherapy and psychopathology and psychometrics. So then, getting back, as we keep a mental paperclip on Kobe Bryant's connection, again, not only to the dark arts, but to the boule. You and I talked about both the Thelema and the Theosophical Seeker Societies. Oprah Winfrey, okay, her studio is called Harpo, capital Harpo, which is Oprah spelled backwards.
Yeah.
Harpo is a name of a goddess witch in the religion of Gaia, capital Gaia. Oprah Winfrey said that you are a god, okay? Oprah Winfrey is a bouleist who's a part of both the Thelema and Theosophical Seeker Societies. And her lover, Gayle King, that's why they want to destroy the character of Black men. And I'm not making this a black and white issue. In our conclusion, matter of fact, I'm getting some emails from people that wants me to touch on the music mogul, Quincy Jones, right? Quincy Jones, right? And we talked about Will Smith in the movie 6 Degrees of Separation. Quincy Jones is a known homosexual. I'm not castigating anything against homosexuality, okay? I'm against it as a bishop. That's another topic for another day. Quincy Jones had propositioned Tupac to sleep with him. Tupac Shakur said this on the news, said it on a video, that he said no. At the time, Tupac was dating the daughter of Quincy Jones, Kadida Jones, capital Kadada Jones, one of the daughters of Quincy Jones. Kadida Jones was in the car, Jason, okay, on the 7th of September 1996, when Tupac was taken out. Kadida Jones was in the back seat.
Damn.
No one talks about
that. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Exactly. So Tupac did not want to be buck broken. Okay. Tupac had no intention of being a part of any boule secret society. Now, Kadida Jones lived with Tupac. And then after Tupac's assassination, if indeed Tupac was assassinated, she's quiet because Quincy Jones and the Jones family, okay, and Kadida Jones's mother, okay, Peggy Limpton, she played in the TV show The Mob Squad. Remember back in the 70s? That's her mother. She died recently, okay? She wanted to write a book about the background of Quincy Jones, and she ends up dead of cancer. And then before the fact, she was never diagnosed before. Jason, they make it look like that you took your own life or that you got cancer. So Khadija Jones was the fiance of Tupac Shakur. So,
Wow.
so the deep state, through the Boule Secret Society, wanted to make it look like an East Coast, West Coast battle, okay? And then they took out Biggie Smalls sometime later that he did not want to be a part of the Boule. Anytime a person goes against the Boule system, they take them out. Another musician, Tevin Campbell, okay? He was Buck Broken, a very talented musician, going back to the late 80s, early 90s, whom Quincy Jones mentored. I'll say that with an elongated word, okay? And Buck Broken. Where's Tevin Campbell? He's nowhere to be found. So when you talk about the dark arts, we talk about the Thelema and the Theosophical Secret Societies, the Scottish Rite Order, the Boule Secret Society, the dark arts of Hollywood, in connection to the dark system of Wall Street, that Kobe trusted a man that he did not know, Jeffrey Steibel, did not know his past, did not know who Jeffrey Steibel was, who he's connected to the Brain Gate and to the Brain Initiative. This man, Jeffrey Steibel, is one connected person. And I keep saying this would be it, but give me 2 minutes, I promise, and I'm done. So this Kobe Bryant initiation process, this Kobe Bryant Luciferian project completed. We talked about that term Lucifer last week. I've been getting a lot of emails from people stating, Bishop, you blew my mind about recycle with Lucifer spelled right to left. And people might say, why do you do that, Bishop? Because Hebrew or Hebraic is written from right to left. And incidentally, Hebrew has over 300 dialects. That's another topic for another day. So in the original Hebrew, in the original Ashkenazic Hebrew interpretation of what we say, Lucifer, the sun in the morning, the term Lucifer, the sun in the morning, actually means Hillel ben Shahar, H-E-L-E-L, okay? H-E-L-E-L, then Ben, which means sun, B-E-N, then Shahar, S-H-S-A-H-A-R. Now that term Shahar, Jason, is a transliteration into the Latin word Shakira. Remember the singer with J-Lo, Super Bowl night, Shakira. So it's all the dark arts. And you look, and I'm glad you're showing that address there.
Because you brought this up, and I forgot to show it.
Yes, and you go down further, and I'm glad that you're showing this address. Now, as of today, when I checked it out this morning, there is no mention of a Bryant Steibel sign or insignia at all.
Well, Bishop, I think I just crashed the computer. You might be about to get shut off because sometimes this works, sometimes it ruins the whole thing. But the idea was to get us close to that address. Let's see. I think we're out of commission. Well, Bishop, we'll have to check this out. There's so many questions coming up in the comments. It's been an absolutely fantastic show. I want to remind people they can support the Bishop and the Global Spiritual Revolution by going to paypal.me/GSRR Media Group, and they can hear the Bishop's radio show. Is it on Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, Bishop? When can people hear you?
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right now, it's on Thursdays because I'm still recovering physically. So Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also on the USA Network from 9 to 11 on Friday. But the main station is the Life Radio Network, 92.9 FM, 1460 AM, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Yes.
And for people who are listening to us on Spreaker or iTunes or Spotify, I hope they'll become sponsors of the show on subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Bishop will be back next week. People want to hear from you with regard to Tupac, more information about Quincy Jones. So I think there's a lot more shows to come, Bishop, and thank you very much for this part 2 that will, I guess, be concluding next week about Kobe Bryant, right?
It would be concluding next week unless there's additional information, but I'll definitely let you know in the coming days. And to all of your listeners, please give $50 or $100 to paypal.me/GSRR Media Group. Any amount that you sow into Global Spiritual Revolution Radio will help us to sustain this global effort. paypal.me/GSRR Media Group. Thank you so much, Jay.
And thank you, Bishop. It's been a great show. We'll see you next week. And thanks, everybody, for watching.